Demo Dabble.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Demo Dabble. This is Sovereign's Will, and the Sovereign's Will is to not give me options in English. I'm assuming one of those is music and the other one is cotton candy, because what else would it be? But it does show the British flag for English compared to a Russian flag? Or, I don't know. I think this looks like Russian to me, and if there's anything I'm an expert on making up what things look like to me. So, as usual, we don't know what kind of game this is, so we're just gonna start, see what happens. I find it interesting that there is an unlocked endings button. The New Beginning, welcome. You are playing a demo version of the game Sovereign's Will. It is a non-linear and primarily text-based simulator of managing a medieval province. You have to take on the role of a young ruler on the outskirts of Domain, an empire that spans the whole known world. This version includes a small part of the story and a number of game mechanics. Perhaps you'll find bugs and errors. In this case, please report them using the button in the pause screen. We will be very glad to see you on our Discord server. Rule wisely and trust no one. Literal team. All right. Okay, so it's going to be one of those kind of a graphic novel management game. I'm always down for giving those a try. So that's what we're going to do here. Centuries ago, the world was boundless and fractured. Countless tribes, all naked. States and peoples fought each other constantly, while naked. They spoke different languages and worshipped different gods, none of which had to do with wearing clothing. One kingdom proved to be stronger than the others. Today, it is known as Domain. Who Domain? It is governed by Sovereign, a human whose soul after death is reborn in another body. Having lived dozens of lives, he became the greatest politician and warlord known to the world. He brought prosperity and might to his realm, making it dominant in culture, science, and of course, on battlefields. Domain had conquered the entire continent and sent its sons abroad to the lands not yet known. Distant kingdoms could not stand before Sovereign's genius. They kneeled before him, one by one. By centuries of expansion, Domain came to cover the whole of the known world. Today, humanity is united by the will of this single man. From southern deserts to icebound northern lands, people speak one language, share one faith, single faith, and live by the same law. Life became ordered and clear. Wars ceased to be. World is compact and steadier nowadays. Yeah, definitely not English first language situation here. It's fine. I think I get what they're saying. It seems that humanity is at its peak. It seems that this equilibrium will last forever. All good things last forever. You are Conrad von Meinhardt. Your father governed one of the northernmost provinces of Domain until his last expedition, from which he had not returned. As his sole heir, you now have to take his place. Okay, so interesting. We are not this sovereign person. It sounds like we're going to try to manage our own little region and also have to deal with the fact that the sovereign's going to be like, hey, I need you to do this. I've seen that in some games before. Let's see how they do it here. Okay. So it's turn-based, which is good. I like that a lot of times to be able to look around and see what's what. We've got a codex. Gold. We have 762 income, 326 expenses for a profit of 436. Interesting. Interesting that you can see. I don't know if we, the players, can literally see that, or if that's just funny flavor text about the coins of conquered nations only being visible in a museum. Authority. Oh, I wonder if these people are by any chance fans of Suzerain. Couldn't think of it for a second. Your influence on your subjects, authority is the ability to get others to do what you want them to do. It's not the most academic definition, but the most accurate indeed. Okay, I'm with you. Force. The numbers and power of your personal troops. There hasn't been a major war in Domain for a long time, but no one canceled the internecine fighting, sure. Over here we got church loyalty. Representatives of the Church of, Ananestriate? Oh, no, I see. Representatives of the Church of Oneness treat you in a neutral manner. Just a missing space. Loyalty of holders, the feudals of Amberspiel treat you in a neutral manner. It looks like whatever they were using to add this text needed, it was having them put in proper names, and it forgot to put a space between that entry. This is Trade League influence. What was this one called? Loyalty of the holders. Okay. Guild members treat you in a neutral manner. So we've got the domain window. The rest of these don't seem to have... Margraviate window. I have no idea what that is. The hero window. I don't know who these people are. How do I look around the map? Let's try. WASD seems to work. I'm guessing Trinehart is our place because it does not have a photo next to it. And that would be indicative that it's us and we know what we look like. Okay, this is pretty large map. Oh, I can zoom in and out. There's a lot of areas here, that's for sure. Okay. Well, this thing over here says homecoming. I'm going to click it. Amberspiel, the Margraviate that your father once ruled. So Amberspiel is the Margraviate that our father once ruled? I've never seen the phrase Margraviate before. After graduating at the Capital University of the Domain, you finally return. 2 years ago, your father gathered his retinue and went missing during the expedition. As his only son, you are supposed to become the new Margrave. Oh, I guess I just never saw that word before. Okay, but according to the imperial law, you had to receive the education at the capital first. During your education, the Council of Holders ruled the Margraviate. You've yet to see how harmful or useful their rule was. Okay, so here's where we got some choices. Okay. At the pier, you're greeted by Mark Novak, the head of the household guard and an old friend and comrade of your father. His trust in Mark was boundless after all they went through side by side. Conrad, my boy, or should I say, your grace. His smirk seemed somehow predatory. Okay. I hope the journey went well. Just between you and me, I hate ships. It is so much calmer to have the hard earth under your feet. Anyway, the carriage is ready. With a wide gesture, he invited you to follow after him. The great honor of ruling the Amberspiel has passed on to you. Soon the many advisors will hound you, but until then, this simple soldier can bring you up to date in a simple manner. Okay. Ask away, your grace. I'll answer anything frankly. All right, so we're going to ask about what happened with our father. Regrettably, I can't tell you anything new about your father. They don't know the truth overseas, but we are just as clueless. Clearly, the disappearance of a friend and the inability to do anything about it must have disheartened Mark when he gritted his teeth. Voldemar, I thought we weren't allowed to say that name, went on that damn expedition all of a sudden with no discussion or preparation. It's like he wasn't planning anything, and then one day he's just obsessed with the expedition. He hasn't told anyone where he's going or when he expects to return. First, the expedition went west towards the Stone River. They stopped at a garrison there. After that, they vanished without a trace. As far as anyone can tell, they had not crossed the river. The search started a year after that, following the law. The search efforts went half-heartedly. Our Voldemar was a hindrance to all those weedy merchants and bureaucrats. Many of them could barely hide their glee when your father went missing. All right, what's the affairs going on in our Margraviate? The Amberspiel is restless. The disappearance of your father caused the balance of power to shatter. The three-headed dog called Domain has gone mad again, its heads barking and spewing bile at each other. If the beast is not pacified, heads will eat themselves and the handler as well. So I'm assuming he's referring to the church, the holders, and the trade league as the three heads, because all of this has to do with how's our favor with them. Or I could literally read the next sentence where it says, well, dog heads are the holders, the church, and the league, while the handler is you. Okay, great. Hey, you guys saw me get that on my own, okay? I'm not overdoing it with the metaphors, am I? And what's our relationships with our neighbors? It's relatively good, unlike our inner affairs. Gloucester, our northern neighbor, are keeping to themselves. Their ruler didn't like Valdemar, and I doubt he'd feel any different about his son, but there is no reason to expect open aggression. Resources and influence on the continent are split nearly equally between us, and it is to the benefit of everyone involved. The Enclave, ancient monastery, or a fortress of the church, still stands on the border between our marches. It's high time the Enclave is given to Gloucester or Amberspiel, but the church still keeps it to themselves for no visible reason. It's been a long time since we were fighting with Ictarians. Barbarians to the west are still kept locked by the Stone River and the Legion of Xanthia Kitranida. It's a long name. If you ask me, it's a waste of money. No one has seen the barbarians for a long time, so I doubt they have any wish to invade our blessed country. By the way, before I forget, he takes out a satchel, a weighty, time-worn book with broken spine and pages swollen with ink. I've never heard it described as pages swollen with ink. This is a desk book of your father, usual chancellery edition for nobles, but Valdemar filled it with his own notes and scraps. I believe he was compiling this for you, Conrad. This book will fulfill the role of Codex, the guidebook for the world of domain. It contains the information about the most important people, places, and concepts of this world. Okay, so I saw that Codex up there before. You're walking together with... You know, I just thought of something interesting. It's interesting to me that this is text-based, and yet there is also a turn button in the lower right. Makes me wonder if that's not actually a functional button, but just more of a, here's the year and the week that it is, for keeping track, maybe for story reasons. Anyway, you're walking together with Mark along the pier toward the road where the carriage is awaiting you. The cold wind is blowing from the sea, and you wrap your cloak tighter. Looks like you'll have to acclimate again to the northern chill after the year spent in the center of the known world. The needles of piercing cold awaken the long-forgotten feelings in you. I'm a cold weather guy, so it's good to be home. Glad to hear it, says Mark. I know plenty of northerners who can't bear living here. Their cherished dream is to dump this place and get away somewhere warm and sunny. And if you ask me, here is where the very life is. Harsh, hard, but this is what makes it real. Your father shared this sentiment. At the end of the pier, the luxurious carriage with your coat of arms is awaiting you. Shining rims, mahogany... Sorry, shining rims just makes me think I've got like some pretty badass spinners, you know. Mahogany upholstery, coachman in the golden livery. The sovereign himself could ride in this without shame. Better get used to the good things, your grace. A footman opens the door before you and sets up a footplate. As you're about to get in, you hear some shouts from behind. 2 guards are driving away someone. It's an old man wrapped in a tattered cloak, homespun bags hanging on his shoulders with scrolls sticking out. He looks completely harmless, yet guards point the spears at him as if he was their enemy on the battlefield. In all their swearing, you can make out the word Ictari. Ictarian, says Mark. As you can see, the racial question is still up in the Alcimia. Oh, cool. I can mouse over them. All right, let's do that. So Ictarians are indigenous people of the Alcimian continent. Shattered into clans, they actively resisted the colonists from the domain, but gave in. Most were assimilated to the domain culture, some still keep traditions and pagan beliefs. So Alcimia is the northern continent of the known world, one of the 4 prefectures of domain, and where your Margraviate is located. So it's interesting. He says that the racial question is still up in the air. I'm going to ask Mark if he thinks I should interfere here. The old man is clearly not dangerous. He's a savant or a scholar, judging by the scrolls, not just some riffraff. You know, I'm not fond of the natives myself. They are hot-headed and noisy, causing a lot of ruckus, but clans have sworn the allegiance to the sovereign, so the Icterians are the fellow subjects with full rights. I would intercede, and I am curious who is the old man and what is his trade. And that's what I wanted to do, so I'm glad we're going to do that. You raise your hand, gaining the attention of the guards. Seeing you in front of the carriage, they recoil as if they've seen the fallen one himself. Footman, what is this man guilty of? A beggar, my lord, a vagrant. I'm not a vagrant at all, good sir. I have simply inquired if there was any shelter nearby. As it happens, I was robbed of all my savings, and as such, I could not pay for the stay, even if I wanted to. His unnatural but correct way of speaking gives away one of the clansmen, those of Icterians, who live in their traditional way away from the cities. They learn patronymic language by textbooks, if they learn it at all, and rarely they have an opportunity to speak it. Interesting. Okay, leave this dude alone. The guards scurried away. Today they'll have a topic to gossip. They nearly got reprimanded by a future ruler of the march. Thank you, good sirs, thank you. I'm sure the guard just made a mistake. Please do not castigate them. He has long hair, in Icterian tradition, skin pale as a rich parchment, and tattoos on his hands. He's very old, but a true vigor is seen in his eyes. Should we share a meal to honor our meeting? I am hungry as a saber-tooth, and the old man probably needs to eat too. There is a respectable tavern near. Why can I not read? There is a respectable tavern here near the harbor keeper's residence. In the tavern, you'll be able to learn useful information about the game world. On the other hand, you can always read the codex instead. Why not lead the way? The barkeeper recognized Mark and set the separate table for you away from the longshoremen and sailors. The establishment indeed is respectable for the location. The beer is not watered down enough for it to be really noticeable, and fish stew even tastes like fish. It's good enough if you forget the inns of the capital. Tell us about yourself, old man. Who are you, and what do you do for a living? My name is Eichmar, my lord. He tells you that he is one of the Gordi, which is how his clan calls followers of a doctrine that dictates that a man must discover everything he can about the people, things, and events surrounding him. It has something to do with their clan ancestor or a deity. It is all kind of confusing. The beer got you warmed up and a bit tipsy. Dim light is lulling you near sleep. Even the laughing of sailors sounds like a distant melody. So let's see, we can talk about the religion or the politics of domain or end the conversation. I'm not a religious guy, so I'm more interested in asking what he's going to do in Amberspiel. I've been thinking about joining the Chancellery, my lord. Mark nearly spits his beer hearing that. Chancellery? Why, in the name of the mournful god, would you want that? You see, most of my life I've spent in the clan. I've grown my hair, played our music, was good at fencing, but when all of those close to me were taken by old age, I started to think about what to do next. I never left clan camp for long. I barely knew your language. Then I took the vows of Gordy and started to explore the world of domain. I don't have much time left and have a lot to learn. I have thought that studying in the seminary and receiving a job at the Chancellery would be my best bet. Okay, so we're going to ask him, we're going to say, are you sure he's ready? Truth be told, I am not sure I'm ready. Where should I begin? You ask Mark to explain to the old man the balance of political power in domain. Sure thing, your highness, but who should I start with? Start with the most powerful, suggests Eichmar. Who has the power in the world of domain? So here we've got a choice to make. Is power money, tradition and lineage, or truth? I am a knowledge is power guy, so I'm going to say truth. The Church of Unity has the monopoly on truth. It is the most powerful religious organization in domain. It is also the only one. It has 3 heads: Temple, Tribunal, and Chancellery. The Templars are in charge of abstract things. They work to bring the domain toward the universal harmony. They build temples, play divine music, pray, sing. It hardly belongs to the topic of politics. The Tribunal seeks out heretics, pagans, and traces of influence of the Fallen One. Fortunately, it's been a long time since someone was burned at the stake in Amberspiel. Hopefully it will stay that way. The Inquisitors don't know what to do themselves already, some even turned mercenaries. Now the Chancellery is the real power. It is a bureaucratic network that entangles the entire empire here in Alcimia and overseas, too. The Chancellery clerks collect taxes, hold a court, and command legions. Then you have the holders in the League, I say. And of course, the holders are the ones who have tradition and lineage on their side. It is our aristocracy, a noble estate. The mightiest of landgraves sit on the Council of Holders. At the time, the council was created to limit the authority of the Margrave. When Valdemar, the father of His Highness, disappeared, did they start to stir and buzz in their hive? Oh, yes, they did. Gerhard von Rock is their leader, a dubious man with permanently bored expression. His castle is full of money, and he has many supporters. Worst of all, he comes from the same bloodline as Conrad. The Meinhardt line, of course, takes the priority, but something tells me this skunk will not miss an opportunity to claim the throne of Amberspiel. But as long as Conrad is alive, healthy, and can tell the left from right, von Rock doesn't have a formal chance to challenge his reign. Trade League are the ones who have the most money. The Trade League took under its wing all the people I love so much. Merchants and peddlers. Domain gets richer, guilds get richer, and League, in fact, represents interests of all the guilds. It has come to the point that League buys out the lands of the feudal holders and sometimes even entire cities. They are usually called free cities in the sense that they are not subject to any feudal lord, but to some merchant instead. The old dream of League is to have the same rights for the free cities as the holders have. Vladimir Velamirov leads our division of the League. He knows his way around money. He's the richest man in our march, if I recall correctly. That said, that was the short version. I guess let's ask him about the religion part. A man cannot and should not, Eichmar is saying with conviction while sipping soup, live among the people whose lives are unknown to him and use things he does not understand. For example, I still know too little about horses to have the right to own one of those creatures, therefore I go anywhere on foot. The Ikdari, who follow the way of Gordy, collect knowledge not for the archives and libraries like the people of the domain. The learning for a Gordy is a way of life. That's how we pay tribute to those who created this world. Well, interesting. This gives me the option of being friendly or hostile. I'm going to be friendly. Nothing wrong here. Who do you think created it? Our clan has beliefs on this matter, but since I became a Gordy, I have rejected them. Our world is so wonderful that it would be truly ungrateful to poke about who and why created it instead of learning its mysteries. Suddenly, as if remembering something, he grabs one of his parchments. But I would gladly listen about your religion, my lord. I am sure you and your companion are very knowledgeable in this matter. Aether, divine music, the treacherous fallen one, all of it is so intricate and interesting. All right, let's have Mark explain. It's quite a task you give me. Well, all right, our friend should know at least something about religion indeed for his own safety. Where should I start? Okay, let's see. We can talk about the gods in the world creation, the fallen one, or the world Aether, or the creation of the sovereign. There was a lot of talking. I needed some water. Okay. Well, who are these gods? You, Icterians, made up a lot of gods, but in reality there are only two, Aina and Einaman. Let's see how well I remember 16 steps towards the truth. In the beginning, there was only void, no darkness, no light, no warmth, no cold, no up, no down, until once appeared Aina, the idea of life. Yeah, that's probably it. Aina languished in that void for a long time until she noticed that it is possible to play the lines of constellations like a harp. Well, the sounds weren't exactly like that, they were more beautiful. Aina got really good at playing her music, but she was dreary alone, and so she played some special melody, and out of the ether appeared the second god, her husband, Einaman. They were like a master and apprentice. Aina was playing music, making ether kind of malleable, while Einaman was giving it form, creating things and creatures. Among them, of course, were humans. The world wasn't empty anymore. Looking at that, the gods were ecstatic and joyous. It was a perfect world, simple, clear, and devoid of any evil. What is this fallen one they keep talking about? The goddess and the god, those two cute cups lived happily, loved each other, and enjoyed sounds of the music. I bet that at that point, good sir, something irreparable is bound to happen. Prosperity first, followed by rupture and discord. Many religions follow this logic. Yeah, I'm going to agree with him. By and large, everything was good for the gods until they decided to get a son. The son came out not so hot. We know him as the Fallen One. A normal guy, but kind of unhinged. He coveted Aina, his own mother, and when he realized he doesn't stand a chance, he killed her so that no one could have her. Got one of the constellation cords around her neck and choked until the progenitor of all life drew her last breath. After losing his wife, Einaman was overcome with grief and, in fact, remains in that condition to this day. Sometimes he is called the Mournful God. And to honor Aina, it is customary to place empty pedestals. I'm sure you've seen them before. The Fallen One is not only spiteful, but also cowardly. Fleeing from the Father's wrath, he escaped to the earth and since then lives among the people. They say that he can possess innocent men and do wicked things with their hands. Such possessed are being hunted by the inquisitors of the tribunal. Generally, for the common people, the Fallen One is just a boogeyman and a very convenient excuse for any occasion. Bad harvest? The Fallen One is to blame. A thunderstorm? The Fallen One is to blame. Sick cattle? The Fallen One. A man killed his wife? The Fallen One. Emasculation? The Fallen One again. Convenient. Of course, Eichmar, don't tell anything like that in public. It's, so to speak, not the most orthodox point of view. Okay, that was a fun little way of getting that idea out there. Let's finish at that. I kind of want to see a little bit more of this game before we go. You're welcome to be a guest of the castle. I think that's what I clicked, but it was right dead center for my eyes, so I have no idea if that's what ended up happening. Wanted to see some of the information you get. It looks like you get taxes you can adjust. It updates them live. That's very good. Don't remember what it was set at. Recruitment does what? It costs money. Is there a pool of people, though? That I didn't see. You can issue edicts. Some of them you need others to allow you to do that. That's cool. I like that. All right, what else we got here? This looks like it could be pretty deep. I'm liking what they've got going here for a start. I feel like I need to leave it here. I don't know that anybody's going to really enjoy watching this more. I think that's a good taste of what we can expect. They're putting in the work to sort of introduce you to this world. It seems like it's a fairly well thought out world from what I can tell, especially because it seems like they thought it through enough to allow very casual dialogue about it. I definitely respect that. Let me take a look at this. Oh yeah, so we've got our video game playing codexes, which a lot of us nowadays are familiar with. So I'm pretty intrigued by it personally. This is definitely a niche game though. Let's see what its current status is. Now, Steam is doing that thing it likes to do when I'm playing a game. It pretends it doesn't have a connection. I don't know why that happens. This is not out. It's not even available in any sort of early access format. So it's just marked as coming soon. You can add it to your wish list. Literal Team is the name of the developers, and as far as I can tell, this will be their first effort. I'm going to go ahead and make the change. I'm going to switch it from follow to wish list and cross my fingers that this goes smoothly for them and they are able to put this together how they want. They've certainly got the foundation pretty strong as far as I can tell. And I'm very curious about what their long-term plan is for this. There's definitely, what is that game? I've been trying to think of oh man, it's not, my brain's not working. I can't think of what the heck that super deep, kind of too complicated. I've never been able to have fun with it because I find it too hard to just dip in, get comfortable, and go from there with. That a lot of people do love it though, and it's supposed to be an extremely accurate political take on kingdoms, real world based. God, why can I not remember what this is called? There's like 4 of them. I've got 2 of them. But anyway, what I'm basically saying here is that I'm looking forward to see what these guys do with that. So if anybody's interested in that type of game, you've got one to keep an eye out for. Maybe add it to your wish list too, if you're so curious. And good luck to the dev. Game number 1, it's got to be feeling like everything's over your head, but we're patient. Just get it how you want it, and then we will see it when it's done. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.